Hey, you all, surprise, it is Monday, not Tell Me More Tuesday. And you're probably wondering what I'm doing on here, but I've had a lot of members join the group since the beginning of the year, so I just want to take a couple minutes to introduce myself and maybe talk about my why a little bit. And sorry if you hear Elmo in the background, but I am using Elmo to keep the kids quiet. And don't worry about those grays. I'll get those taken care of on Thursday. Anyway, I was thinking a little bit. First of all, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Michelle. I am an independent consultant for Usborne Books and More. I started back in September of last year, 2015. I have 3 kids, a 5-year-old who's in kindergarten, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And they keep our days pretty busy. So most of the times, just want to talk, like I said, a little bit about my why. You might think there's some pretty obvious reasons. Why I became a consultant. Extra income, you meet new people, lots of free books to build your library. The company has so many incentives and goals and trips and promotions and things like that. But those are all pretty obvious whys. And if you ask me, pretty empty whys. And I thought back to the first 1 or 2 parties that I had where I had stated my why in a post, and I've kind of lost sight of that through the last couple of months, was just trying to push some numbers and sales and things like that. And I remember posting that my why was because I was trying to get my kids to put the electronics down more, and pick up books more. Because it's not that I have anything against the iPad, the iPhone, the computer, or anything like that. It's just that for me, personally, and this has nothing to do with anybody else, I was using it too much with my kids, and I guiltily still kind of do. So I'm still trying to rein that in. Anyway, with these books, getting more books, reading more books to them. I mean, I love books. As a kid, I love to read, and I'll get into that a little bit more about this whole book project I do at Christmas time in honor of my dad and whatnot. But the big thing with these books is they help me be a better parent, because I'm not a naturally creative person or imaginative person or crafty person for that matter. And these books really help me with that. The stories themselves are great, so just reading the book in general is a great place to start. But they spark so much creativity with the kids, so much imagination and conversation for me to start with the kids as well. It gives me ideas of things to talk about and have conversations with them and expand the story and the storylines just beyond the words that are in the story. And they help to educate, especially with the nonfiction books. I can't tell you how many times I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe I haven't mentioned that before to the kids or taught them to that or something like that. And even when some of the subjects are beyond what they might be ready for, it still gives us a talking point. It really does. So it helps them to ask questions, and it helps me to answer the questions for them. So that's my why. I'm trying to expand my kids' world beyond the iPads and the iPhones and the computers. And it's not that I don't want to incorporate them. There are some great programs out there to incorporate. Here's another why right here. And one last thing before I go, and I don't want to touch on this, I don't want to make this too much longer, but I will touch on this more. This is also becoming very personal for me, because my kindergartner is struggling with reading already in kindergarten. At her very first conference back in November, they let us know some of the areas that she's struggling with, and I was flabbergasted, and I was not ready for that. And it's been a struggle. It's been a real struggle for me. Thankfully, she's not frustrated or upset, and she's just kind of going along with it. But she has been put into the reading support program, and it definitely gives us pause to, question ourselves and see what our priorities are and what's going on. So I'll dive into that more later. I want to cut this off, and I will be back tomorrow for the book review, so look for that, and maybe we'll have a special book reviewer. Okay, have a great afternoon. It's beautiful out here in Pittsburgh, and thanks for listening.